Okay, welcome back to the next part of the guide and playthrough to Majora's Mask. In the last part, we went to the Goron village and got a few side questy things done, and then we came up here to Snowhead and used the Goron's lullaby to put the Goron who was blowing the blizzard to sleep. In the last part, I said we were going to go back and do some side quest stuff in Clocktown, but we're not going to be doing that because I thought it over and realized that there was really only one thing we could do there right now. And we can easily do that thing on another trip, and it's not going to be too helpful at the moment. So, what we're going to do instead is just immediately start on the Snowhead Temple. This temple is fairly long, but it's not really challenging. It's definitely harder than Woodfall, though. Alright, so basically this thing is a Snowhead Temple. As you can see, it's mostly vertical, and yes, this is a more vertical dungeon than the others. But first you want to just go in here. Alright, so we can get a full heal from that, and they're going to tell us that there are fairies trapped in this temple too. So you're going to want to be sure to get all of the fairies, and the videos, of course, will show where they are. Oh, excuse me. So watch out for these little dudes everywhere. There's also a few white wolfos around, but I'd say just row past them. Once again, Goron rolling is the fastest way of moving around in the game. And it can also result in that happening. So don't just go crazy with it. And the hitboxes on it are a little weird, so careful with it. I think in this case it might be faster to just go around this way. Also, if you looked at the map over there, you can see that you can... those little white dots moving around are the rolling snowball. So yeah, the Goron... another thing about the Goron that I forgot to mention is the Goron punches are pretty dang useless at hitting smaller enemies like this because of how slow they are. They're mostly good for just dealing large damage to big enemies. They're still better than Link's sword at this point, though, so I'd say just don't even bother using the human form at all most of the time. At least not until we do a certain side quest a little later on. That makes the human form good again. You can just roll up this ramp to make it a little quicker, but it's a lot less risky to just walk it. Alright, Snowhead Temple. Once again, in the 3DS version at the entrance, you're just going to want to do a few Goron pounds when you come in here to get rid of these little things. These are white bows. They're the same as black bows, except they're white. Just use a Goron punch to get through these icicles. Need more than average strength to move the thing. Another thing, in the 3DS version, there were save statues that permanently saved your game, but you couldn't warp to them at the entrance to every dungeon. Also, that's the Goron's shield, by the way. I don't have time for this. Just ignore this guy and go through this door here. Slippery places you can curl up as a Goron and roll your way across. Yeah, if you noticed that whenever there's ice, the Goron can not roll across it too easily, or at least not until you get the spikes. So, down here, going to notice our first stray fairy. And once again, going to be replacing the ocarina with the fairy's mask, because we don't really need the ocarina in this dungeon. Or any dungeon. Actually, we do need it in one. And if you'll see something, you'll notice, if you put on the Lens of Truth, you'll notice that most of those walls are fake, and you have to go around to the other side to pop the bubble. Another thing about Goron Link is that he can walk through lava without getting hurt. So as you can see, that wall is... that opening is real, you can shoot through it. You're going to need the Great Fairy's Mask to get this one. Not all of them require the Great Fairy's Mask, believe it or not. Only a few of them do. And as you can see, the Great Fairy's Mask is still sparkling, meaning there's more fairies in this room. I don't think we can get any of them at the moment, though. I don't want to check these pots, because I don't exactly remember where it is in the 3DS version. I think Goron Link's ladder climbing is slightly slower than human Link's, so that's kind of unfortunate. I still recommend just staying in Goron form at most times, though. Just barely made that. Well, there's the other fairy. Good thing I saw that, because I had honestly forgotten where that one was. Actually, it'll be easier to get from over there. So watch out for those enemies there. They're called Freezards, and they freeze you. Pretty simple, just don't get hit by them. Alright, sparkles are gone, no more fairies in this room. There's one or two fairies in this dungeon that are just absolute jerks. You have to use the lens of truth to see them. And they're in really obscure spots. There's one right over here, so just grab it. Over here, there's another new enemy. You're going to be seeing these guys a lot. They're just called real bomb shoes. They just run at you and explode. Just block them with your shield and you'll be fine. And in this chest over here, we get the dungeon map. It works the same way as always. You can see the map down there. But this thing is, as always, pretty useless without the compass. But still, you want to pick it up whenever you see it. Obviously. Once again, the fairies in Snowhead Temple were pink in the 3DS version, so if you're playing that one, look for pink fairies, not green fairies. And this is the main hub of the dungeon. As I said, this place is mostly based on scaling vertically. Also, my stupid self forgot to mention that Evan isn't here this time. Yeah, I'm not going to have any guest commentators in dungeons because they're just me talking and explaining how to go through it. Nothing for anyone else to really say. Open that up and get a stray fairy. So be sure to come down here and grab that. Nothing else for you to really do down here, though. Actually, is there something else? No, that room can't do anything in there yet. So just head back up these stairs when you want to go back up. That over there is the door that you want to go through next, but before we get to that, I want to shoot through this fire here. I said shoot through this fire here. There we go. That'll melt the ice on this door. Which will just lead us back in the entrance room. Yeah, one jump attack to the Wolfo's tail will finish him. Can't go in there yet, but since we've kind of come full circle, I think this is a decent place to end this part off. So thanks for watching, and I